How's it going, everybody? My name is Chase Keep and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be going over my 8-step guide to breaking your addiction to this. That's right, we all deal with this problem of spending too much time on our cell phones, our smartphones, our iPhones, whatever you want to call it. We all have that exact same issue. And in today's world, it's even more prevalent for people to just be dependent entirely on their phones. They need them next to their bodies at all times of the day. And I myself am absolutely used to that exact same feeling as well. I totally feel tethered to my phone a lot of the time, and I hate that feeling. I hate needing it there. I hate having the urge to use it every free minute that I get. I absolutely hate that, and I just try to get that out of my life as much as I possibly can. And in the last year or so, it's really been extremely positive, and these are the steps that I took to really cut my addiction to cell phones down to a manageable amount that it is now. And look, before I get into the 8-step process, I do want to say this. I know digital minimalism is kind of something that I talk about a decent amount on my channel. You can check out my last digital minimalism social media cleanse video up above. But realistically today, I want to focus purely on smartphones and the problems that they cause themselves. The issue of being reliant on digital devices in general, I think, is going to wait for a different video. Today, I'm just going to be focusing entirely on our addiction to our phones. But with that, let's get into it. I have 8 steps that I want to go over that will help you cure the addiction to your phone. If you can successfully implement some or all 8 of these steps into your life, I think you will absolutely find that you have a much healthier relationship with your smartphone. So let's get into it right now. Step number 1, that's an 11. Step number 1 is going to be to turn off notifications. This is probably the first thing that I think you should do if you're trying to get rid of this addiction that you have to your phone. Notifications are an absolute hindrance and they don't need to be used at all unless you specifically need them for something like work or a text from a loved one. You should get rid of all notifications. They are harmful on so many levels. Not only are they just going to increase the amount of time that you spend on your phones by showing you something that you want to see and then you click on it, but they also will just destroy any focus that you have. If you've been working for a couple of hours on a project and you get a buzz in your pocket and you just check your phone, see whatever popped up on there, you just ruined all of that concentration. You have just been distracted from whatever project you were working on just by this one little action that your phone made, and you probably saw something that you didn't really care about. Turning off notifications has just been an absolute positive thing in my life. I don't think you need notifications on for many things, so just try to turn those off right away. That's my first tip. Step 1, turn off all notifications. Step number 2 is to follow up on that and turn off the little red dots that appear next to all of your apps when you have something waiting for you to read. Those little red dots are called badges on your phone, and you should really try to turn those off, because let's be honest, when people see any dot with one of those numbers inside saying that you have 7 missed messages, you really feel that urge to go and check and see what those 7 messages are right then and there. You hate leaving those red dots on your screen. I totally get it. But because of that urge and because of how harmful that is, when realistically you don't need to check those things right away, just try to turn those badges off. So I'll have a little video going here right next to me showing you exactly how you can turn these off, because I don't think a lot of people really know this trick. So you can follow this exactly to see how to do it for every single one of your apps, except for settings. I can't turn them off in settings, which sucks. I wish I could. They're the only thing that I can't turn off, so they're there on my phone at all times. If anybody knows how to turn off the badges for settings, please let me know in the comments down below. But there you go, now you've got notifications off and you've got these badges turned off. So now not only are you going to be distracted by your phone buzzing or making a noise or vibrating, but you're also going to get onto your phone and not see any red dots that you just feel compelled to click on and investigate further. Now your screen is already a lot cleaner, your usage is already going to be a little bit better, and it's overall already a little bit of a healthier relationship. Step number 3, you have turned notifications off, you have turned badges off. Now you have already a pretty clean setup on your phone because you're not going to see those dots and feel compelled to click on things. The next step is to actually just physically clean up your home page of your phone. And again, I'll have a little video going on right next to me here, but basically just try to make this as clean as you possibly can. Only put the apps that you really need on that front page and try to put other things on other pages. We'll get to that in a second. I move a bunch of apps to the second page of my phone, and these are specifically the apps that cause me more problems than others. I understand, and I want to say this right now, there are a lot of things on your phone that are really beneficial and positive that help you live life efficiently. I totally understand that. And I am not going to advertise at any point in this video that you should just destroy your phone entirely or get rid of it, because again, I understand that there are a lot of positives. I'm just trying to make sure that you know how to live your life a little bit better and have, again, a healthier relationship with your phone. So any apps that really do cause you a lot of issues, for me, back before I really made this change, it was things like Twitter and Instagram were really causing me issues, specifically Twitter. And I would just click on Twitter and scroll mindlessly for no reason at any free minute that I had, and for hours at a time, really doing nothing with my time. It was just a waste, complete waste, and I hated that. So I took these apps and I moved them from the first page to the second page. Then I put them into a folder titled Never Use, except for I do need them for work a decent amount of the time, so I don't delete them. And I put them into that folder. So then I have to click on that folder, and then I have to scroll again to the second page of that folder just to get into that app. And I know it's only like a couple second process to get to that app, but actually it's really crazy. Once you move things and require a little bit of work to actually get to them, you are going to spend a lot less time on those apps, and I found this to be super beneficial. So again, step 3 is to clear that first page and really just make it as productive and efficient as possible. Put only the things that you need right there, and then hide everything else. Make it require some work to get to the apps that you don't need as much, like social media apps that just are a waste of time most of the time that you use them. All right, so there you go. You have turned notifications off, you have turned badges off, and you have cleaned up the physical landscape of your phone. You're already in a much better position than you were at the start of this video, because everything is kind of clean. It's tailored to you for specifically the things that you need and not the things that are just a waste of time. And the next step is when we're going to bring in the big guns. This is the one that's really going to get to you mentally. Track your screen time. Most iPhones these days have this already built into the settings where you can check exactly how much screen time you're spending on your phone each week and how much time you're spending on each app individually. And I would highly encourage you to actually do this. And I know a lot of people actively try to avoid their screen time because they are going to be discouraged by how much time they spend watching YouTube or scrolling through Instagram every week. I get it. A lot of people hate that feeling, but that's exactly why I think you should actually look at these things. I promise you, some of the best motivation that you will ever find is looking at your screen time and thinking to yourself like, oh my God, how did I spend 20 hours last week on YouTube? That's almost a full day watching YouTube. And that's exactly what it was like for me not too long ago. But once I was looking at those things and thinking about how awful that actually was, I was really able to cut down on it much faster than if I had just thought to myself, I'm going to cut my screen time. No, it was actually looking at that number, thinking, oh my God, that's awful, and then really working to get it as low as I possibly could until really it's at like less than an hour per week. And again, I know it's rough. I know you probably don't want to do this if you're someone who's clicking on this video because you do feel addicted to your phone and like you're on your phone all the time. But I promise you, this is one of those things, the little changes that you can make that will drive the biggest response in your activity, in your habits moving forward. All right, moving on to step number 5. Now your phone is already a lot cleaner than it used to be, and you know your screen time. You might hate it, you might love it, you might think you're discouraged by it, but whatever it may be, you at least know it. And now you're going to move on to the next step, which is to basically take a lot of the things that you do on your phone, specifically a lot of the things that are harmful to you, that you hate, that you think are a waste of time, and actually move them onto your computer. And yes, this might sound backwards a little bit, right? We're trying to decrease screen time, but I'm actively encouraging you to jump onto a different device, which realistically is still screen time. But the thing is, a lot of the apps that are really going to drive you to feel addicted, feel like you need to be on your phone at all times, apps like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, things like that, they want your attention, right? And they are specifically made for your cell phone. Through this device, they are going to make you feel addicted like you need it at all times of the day. But they are built specifically for that phone. If you can move those activities onto a computer, you'll see that the apps really aren't tailored for a desktop view. And the point of this exercise, if you can call it that, is to see that the content is all the same even though you're on your computer, right? Nothing is different from your phone, except it's a little bit more difficult to actually scroll through Instagram, like things, go to other people's pages, right? And you'll find that you can probably not enjoy it as much as you did before. And what you'll learn through this is that scrolling through Instagram, liking pictures, looking at everything else other people are doing for a couple of hours, it's not really that beneficial to you. And the reason that you liked it on your phone is because it was built to keep you addicted on your phone. But now that you're doing it on your computer, you see that it's really not something that you need to do, and you'll find that you can live without it. A little byproduct of this, again, exercise is that making you do something on your computer requires a lot more work than it's on your phone. Let's just say it's super late at night, you're struggling to sleep, what's the first thing you do? You whip out your phone and you start scrolling through social media apps. Well, now instead of that, you have to go onto your computer, which means opening the thing, typing in the password, going to the website, typing all of that in at the same time, and then getting there and realizing that it's not as good as it was before on your phone. It's a lot less addicting, and you are a lot less likely to actually go through all of that work just to check Instagram. And when it comes to something like that, not being willing to go through that work to check it probably means that it's just not that important to you. You really only liked it when it was on your phone because it was addicting and you just wanted to spend time on it. But realistically, you don't need that. And that's the whole point of moving things on your computer. Force yourself to put in a little bit more effort to do the exact same things that you were doing before and see if it's still worth it. Step number 6, this one's another big one. So you've got all of your things cleaned up on your phone, right? You're doing things on your computer now. It's going pretty well. The next step is to actually go all out, delete apps from your phone. Just take out some of the things that you realized aren't that important, don't provide value to you, you don't enjoy doing, you think are a waste of time. Delete them entirely. Deleting the apps is the absolute best way to keep yourself from being tempted to go on them. They're literally not on your phone anymore. You have to go on your computer, and you're not going to do that because it takes so much more work. This is going to save you so much screen time, just deleting the apps that you realize you don't need anymore. And again, I understand that this is going to be difficult. People are going to re-download the apps and use them again. That's totally fine. In fact, one of my best friends actually does this process all the time. He deletes all of his social media apps, but once a week he needs to use Snapchat to respond to people. He really sees the value in talking to people over Snapchat once a week. So what does he do? He re-downloads the app, responds to people, talks to some people for a little bit, and then deletes the app again for an entire week. That's exactly what he does every single week. It's not a hindrance to him anymore. It's just part of his routine, but he finds that he doesn't have any wasted time on Snapchat. He's not mindlessly scrolling through a bunch of different snaps or anything like that. He is just using it for what he thinks has value, and then otherwise getting rid of it entirely. So feel free to re-download things, use them for a little bit, and then delete them again, and just see if you can live like that, because a lot of times there are some positives to be drawn from every single app that you have. And it's totally fine to extract that value as quickly as you can and then delete it, get it off of your phone so you're not tempted, but just try and do it as quickly as possible, right? Be as efficient as you possibly can, and then get rid of it before it becomes a time sink and just really a hindrance to your life. And then sometimes you might even find that you're not even re-downloading the app, even though you thought you would to do something that you thought was important. You're just not even re-downloading it ever, and suddenly that app is gone. It's escaping your brain, you don't even think about it, and again, that's just a positive thing that's going to help your screen time and help you feel less tethered to your phone. Step number 7, we're already in a much better place. If you've made it this far and you're actually applying some of these steps, you are now in a much better relationship with your phone, right? You're going to be doing things with a lot more intentionality behind all of your decisions, which is exactly what we are going for. But step number 7 is going to take it a step further, little pun, little bad pun, and force you to leave your phone somewhere else as often as you possibly can. And I know this is probably really crazy to talk about during quarantine, but try to leave your phone in one room while you're in another. So let's just say you leave it in the living room when you're asleep at night, and then during the middle of the day when you're out in the living room, leave it in the bedroom. Just do something like that to keep it away from your side at all times of the day. And again, you're just going to be taking away the temptation to use it constantly. And that is the goal of every single thing that we're doing here today, is to try and reduce that temptation to the point that you don't even feel like you need it by your side at all times of the day. That's 100% the feeling we're going for. It's uplifting for myself. I mean, I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but I love that feeling of not needing my phone, not feeling the urge to just click on something, click on Twitter and start scrolling, trying to get that dopamine rush by refreshing my feed every 2 seconds. Like, it's amazing to not have that feeling all the time. So just try to leave your phone in a different room at all times of the day. Again, you'll probably find that you need it and you have to go get it, but just making that effort and forcing yourself to walk to another room to grab your phone and go onto Instagram or something, it's going to take so much more effort that you're probably going to say, I'm fine. I can live without Instagram right now. The final step in this entire process, the 8th step of 8, is to basically try to live without your phone. Try to live without them. Try to do something outside, go on a long hike, leave your phone at home. When you're hanging out with friends, try not to check it at all once in the entire night. Leave it at the front door and then just forget about it. Try to live without it, and I think you will see that you can live without it. You can absolutely do it. You don't need it with you at all times. And again, that is the point, to understand that this is something that right now you feel addicted to. You feel like you need it all the time, that the urge of having to check your social media accounts is so strong that you need it there right by you. That's totally unnecessary and untrue. You can live without your phone. There's so many things you can do in life without your phone by your side. Try doing them right now. See how it works. And now that you've gone through the entire 8-step process, you can move on to the 9th step, which I like to call the hammer, and you really just gotta, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't actually do that. Like I said throughout the video, there are a lot of positive things about phones, and I totally understand that you're going to keep using them and keeping them as something that's important to you in your life. On top of that, because they are so positive and do bring some benefits to life, I totally understand that you're going to keep them by your side most of the time, and that you will probably relapse and jump into social media apps and waste hours upon hours scrolling through YouTube videos or liking Instagram posts. That's totally understandable. I totally get that. Relapses are going to happen to everybody. I guarantee it almost that it's going to happen to you. And the important thing about these is that it's totally fine. It's totally okay to relapse. Just try and learn something from each of those times. Why did you end up scrolling through YouTube? Is it because you were up late at night? Like, maybe try to find a way to fall asleep better without needing your phone to watch some videos to pass the time. Just doing things like that to learn from any relapses and realize that you don't need that waste of time, and trying to make relapses happen as infrequently as you can until eventually not being on your phone is second nature. Living with your phone not with you at all times, that's just a common thing that you're used to and you enjoy a lot more, and that's exactly what we're going for. So just, again, try this 8-step process. Try any of the 8 steps. See how some of them work for you, some of them might not. I totally understand that, but I think that this process is really going to help you develop a much healthier relationship with your cell phone, and I would love it if I could help spread that to anybody that is watching. If one person can look at this video and say, all right, I'm going to turn off notifications, that's helping my lifestyle, I totally think that this video was a success, and thank you. So please comment down below if there's anything that you thought was really helpful about this video that you're going to try implementing yourself, but also if there are any steps that you have that you think could actually add to this and make it easier for other people to cut smartphones out of their life entirely as well. I hope you guys are all having an amazingly frugal day. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. New videos are up every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Comment, turn that like button blue, and I will see you all again next time.